7.5 FM, sound of Etana, with a tune called How Long. Yes, remember, says I promise you, Ella, tonight we've got a special guest. Yes, I've got Etana live in the building. Yes, Etana, welcome to Level the Vibes.
Thanks for having me, Bashmont. Well done.
Bless it. All right, welcome to Cape Town. How long, is it the first time being in Cape Town?
Oh yeah, it's my first time in Cape Town, second time in Joburg.
Okay.
But yeah, beautiful place.
You love the place?
Of course.
All right. And in Africa, is it your first time again?
Say that?
In Africa?
No, been to Ghana, Kenya.
Okay.
The Gambia.
All right.
Forgive me if I don't remember everything.
Okay. And how was the vibe like in other countries like Ghana and Kenya?
The people are just like when you're in Jamaica. It's just that they don't speak patois all the time, but it's the same kind of people, you know.
Same kind of people.
Yeah.
You love the vibe.
Of course, all the time.
All right. Now we're talking about the All Nations Reggae Fest. Are you ready to deliver?
Of course I am. I'm always ready to deliver.
It's been a long awaited.
My life is music, and my life is a stage.
All right.
So I might be, nice and quiet and, relax otherwise, but then I come alive when it's stage time.
When it's stage time, come on.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Before we go deep into the event, can you just give us a brief about who is Etana and how long have you been in the music industry?
My first album was released in 2008.
2008,
and the album is called The Strong One.
All right.
Then I have another album called Free Expressions, Better Tomorrow, and I have I Rise. That's 4 albums.
Okay.
Been at #1 in many charts all over the world. Traveled many places, done many festivals.
All right.
A lot of touring, everything that you can imagine. That an artist does. I'm hardworking. I love people, love life, I love music, and I love staying positive as much as I possibly can.
All right.
You know.
All right.
Yeah.
Interesting. And besides, before 2008, were you also already in the music industry?
I was a backup singer for Richie Spice for like a year and a half.
Okay.
And I remember. Being on the road and people kept asking who I was on the road, and then after one day we were supposed to do a show in Kingston, and before I went on the stage I was told by his management that I was no longer going on the stage with him anymore at the show. And it was very disappointing because I was ready for the show, and then they told me that it was time for me to perform on my own.
Okay.
And so since then I've been on my own.
And how always it been like comparing you when you started doing alone and before that when you were working with Richie Spice?
Well, the greatest thing is I learned what it's like to be a band member first. I learned what it's like to be a background vocalist behind the artist.
Okay.
So I treat everyone who works with me accordingly, the best way I possibly can, because I know what it's like to be in their shoe. And then as an artist, I know I have to work twice as hard. I've learned from all the mistakes that were made with Richie Spice and a lot of people that I saw while we were working. And then I get to learn from my own mistakes too. So.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, I'm going to play a tune from you. This one is called Arise. Can you just brief us? What does it talk about?
I rise. I was born strong. I was made for this. It's like one of those days when you feel like you can't go any further. When you feel like you've made your last step.
Yes. All right. Since you've traveled different countries, especially in Africa, like which country would you prefer to settle?
Would I live?
Yeah.
Boy, that's the hard one. I would live here in Cape Town, probably.
Because you're here, or?
No.
Okay.
No, I don't do stuff like that. I talk it like it is,
Okay.
I'm not afraid of offending anyone because I don't take things, I don't get offended easily.
All right.
So I would live here because it reminds me of somewhere else that I would live, like in Sicily. Or it reminds me of Montego Bay somewhat, being here. I would also live in, where else in Africa? Kenya, maybe.
Kenya. What
The
is it
people
about
are
Kenya?
because the people are fiery. They're, they're full of life and pepper and attitude and everything that's African, everything that's about us. We're full of creativity, color, life, everything. We have it locked.
Now I'm getting more curious to get to Kenya now, because a few weeks ago I was with Bushman and he also mentioned Kenya.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
See?
So I'm getting curious now.
Yeah, you should go and see.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, I think I should do that. All right, and now I always want to talk about the female side when I'm talking to female artists.
Yeah.
Like now, I don't know, with the way you see reggae music, especially in female artists, where do you see them in the next 5 years? Do you see them more rising or still on the same level?
Well, it depends, because for one thing, the internet has made it different for everybody across the world and across the board, whether it be rock, hip hop, country, whatever. It's the whole industry has changed, but one thing has not changed for sure, and is still growing by the loads, by the droves, and by the thousands. It's reggae festivals all over the world.
Okay.
Festivals that are new in the beginning, you may see maybe 30, 20,000 people, 50,000 people, but you have festivals that go up to like 300,000 and 500,000 people, and that's just reggae music alone.
Yeah.
So, reggae music will always live, but as far as how it's gonna go for the business, I have no idea. I think nobody knows right now.
Yeah, nobody knows.
The only thing that I know to do is just to keep on singing, keep doing positive music, and every time that I leave an event, I will always leave an impression. I'll always leave something that somebody could take with them for the rest of their life. They'll never forget it.
All right. And we always see like some young ladies starting doing music, and then after maybe 2-3 years they just stop. Maybe it's because of family problem, or maybe getting into marriage. And what can you say to people like those?
It's hard. I'm not gonna lie. You definitely have to love the music to make it. And in the beginning, like any business that you start, if you've ever thought about starting any kind of business outside of music,
Yes.
in their first year, in your second year even, you might not even make any money. In your third year, you might break even, right? So be prepared that when you start, you're going to have to invest a lot of time, invest money,
Yes.
but don't compromise yourself. Don't lower your standards. Don't do anything that makes you feel funny, or anything that make it hard for you to sleep at night.
All right.
You definitely have to, if you do the music and do it to the best of your ability with all the faith and love that you have in your heart, then there's no doubt that you will get somewhere.
Right.
But if you're doing it just to get the money out of it in the beginning, oh, I'm gonna get rich, or oh, no, it's not gonna happen overnight, I'm sorry to say. So if I've popped your bubble, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But it's just not gonna happen overnight. That's just not how it goes. And some people are lucky enough for it to happen just like that.
Just like that.
You put up a song on YouTube and it goes off.
Yeah.
It's possible. I'm not saying it's not, but just be prepared.
Okay. And so now talking about having children and music,
yes.
on that part.
The other day,
the reason
a
why
lady,
I'm asking this, sorry, got you. The reason why I'm asking this is because I've seen so many female artists getting to that level where they can just after the baby or something like that, and then they just vanish like that. What's your comment on that?
Sometimes it may even do with the kind of relationship that they may have. Because say, for example, a man sees a woman and she's about to break. And he's thinking, oh my God, okay, she's going to find somebody else, or she's going to get married to somebody else. Let me hurry up and get her pregnant. And then I'm going to force her to stay with this kid so that she can't do music. Right?
Okay.
But then you have, like my mother. My mother keeps my children when I'm away, and my aunt. So you have two women in the house with two kids, you know. And I'm lucky to have that because some women don't. Yeah. And I had a baby 4 months ago. Wow. And in the second month, I was already still doing my shows and doing everything that I have to do. It was hard. It was painful. Very painful. I had a C-section, so just imagine how painful that could be.
Yes, yeah.
And I did it, and I'm still working to this day. Yes, I want to go home. I want to be with my family, but this is what I do, and everybody understands that, so it is what it is.
It is what it
just have to keep moving.
All right, thank you for putting this out, because I know I haven't come across anyone who can just explain, especially someone who's already succeeded in music, explaining this part on women. This one is called On My Way. What does it talk about?
Oh, I'm on my way, though the journey is so rough, I got to carry on. It's just saying, even though things get hard, just like I was saying before, even though things get hard and it gets rough, you just have to keep going on.
All right.
Yeah.
Yes, Boucher, yes, Etana. Now, talking about this coming events, what if you prepared for us?
A good show.
A good show.
Yeah, man.
Okay, before we get into Cape Town, how was the Joburg?
Joburg was wicked. It was nice. People were singing. They were shouting out for songs that I had in the list, but I didn't get to it yet. Then people were like, "Oh, did you do that song already?" Songs that I did already, and yeah, they were happy when I came off the stage. They were really happy.
All right.
They enjoyed it.
And I believe Cape Town is going to be even more than that.
Oh, you mean?
All right. So, what are you preparing for us, musical wise? Do you have any hardcore dance, or it's only strictly reggae?
Well, it's a mixture. Of things, you know.
All right.
It's a mixture of the old and the new.
Okay. And talking about the hype on your side, how do you see that?
The hype on what side?
Like your side, you've been moving around Cape Town.
Oh, of course. I mean, it seems, like I said, the vibe reminds me of like being in Montego Bay, you know. Everything is nice and cool and calm, and everybody's loving reggae music and loving everything that has to do with reggae. Okay. So I'm looking forward to seeing, if not half of Cape Town, all of Cape Town come out to see the show. Okay. Yeah, and then as you know, Bushman is a lot, you know, reggae, roots reggae. Yes. And while Turbulence is dancehall and reggae together. Yes. So it's like a full show. It goes across the board. So I'm looking forward to seeing everybody out there. Okay,
and I see there's already a big excitement with the people out there because they haven't got any kind of lineup like this.
Really?
Yes, sure.
Wow.
All right. And now talking about the African, since you've been traveling all over Africa, have you shared with any other African artists?
Not yet. I like for things to happen naturally.
Okay.
It has to be a vibe. It has to be a heartfelt moment.
Okay.
Nothing that is forced or because the money sounds good or the business sounds good. Yeah. It has to really sound good musically, and there has to be some kind of energy that makes me feel like it will work.
Okay.
That's first and foremost.
Okay. And so, apart from that, have you ever heard any African artists doing reggae music?
I've heard so many.
Okay.
I've heard a lot. The only combination I've ever done with an African artist is the artist named Semini in Ghana.
Okay.
And it's called Africa Unite. Otherwise, no. And that was years ago, like 8 years ago.
Wow,
right?
That's a long time.
Yeah, man. So,
okay.
and the music and time has changed, and people get more, you know. So I don't know. Over time, maybe I'll find the right person, and it would just work well.
Okay. And no, apart from doing a combination with that, like how do you comment on the vibe, like from African reggae artists?
I've heard some really good ones.
Okay.
I've heard some that needs production just the same. I've heard some that need work. Yeah, But I've heard really, really good ones too, like well-produced stuff.
Well produced.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. This one is called Rich Girl. What does it talk about?
Richest Girl is a love song. It's just saying that if tomorrow should come and you should wake up next to just your kids or just your girlfriend or your wife, and you have no money, no car, no house, no nothing, would you be happy? And that's what it's about.
All right. Yes, Miss Radio. This one is called Richest Girl. We've got Etana in the building. Is you ready for Saturday? All Nations Reggae Fest.
Yesterday, would you promise to be okay? And all the things you did, moments later.